We are rolling.
Okay. Well, thank you all for being here today. Our topic today is, and you see I'm using the slash, intrusive and proactive advising, because when I was an advisor, it was referred to as intrusive advising. Now, I guess the politically correct term would be the proactive advising. And first I'm going to give an example. And this was a student who, through extenuating circumstances, missed everything in the semester from midterms through the end of the semester. And 2 days ago, emailed me, can you help me get back on track, and I want to improve my grades. This student was a transfer student, so I'll try to give you some background in all of this. And final grade in all of his classes was an F. Now, I'm thinking between even the end of the semester and February 3rd, the student could have been proactive to contact someone to say, I need help getting back on track. But I'll say that someone somewhere along the line, whether it was financial aid or the 4 faculty members, someone should have noticed that the student was gone. So I did contact the academic advisor for that student, and the good news is we're going to try and get him back on track. But that brings us into really that proactive or the intrusive advising. Now, on January 7th, the president called a meeting. Well, actually he called it for the 6th, but the university was closed because of the 45 degree below wind chill. Wasn't all that much warmer the next day, but we were all here. And when I saw the president during that meeting, it was the president, the provost, all of the deans, department chairs, and academic advisors. He was also having meetings with enrollment management, financial aid, everything that really touches the lives of students. And Dr. Watson referred to the 4 T's of retention. Obviously teaching, because that hopefully is happening frequently, every day. Tutoring. We do have a wonderful Learning Assistance Center in this building if the students need that type of help. Tuition. There's actually money available for scholarships and tuition assistance. And then Dr. Watson said, and the last one is touch. And there were some chuckles in the room, and he said that the touch was advising. How do we reach out and touch those students? And as the meeting went on, we all know how important retention, etc. is. As he kept getting closer and closer to where I was standing, I raised my hand and said, well, sir, Miss Edingburg and I would be happy to put together a session on intrusive advising. And I think everyone in the room laughed except Miss Edingburg, because she thought, oh, there he goes volunteering again. But we worked well together. And I will say that in my career in education, I started out as a teacher. I taught art for 1st through 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade history, and 7th and 8th grade geography. Then I found out that working in a small private school, it was difficult supporting myself. So I went into corporate training and decided that I needed to learn how to do that a little bit better. So I went back to school, and well, 2 weeks before I received that new degree, my career advisor came up to me and said, I'd like to offer you a job. How would you like to be a career advisor? And I said, sure, I know about careers. And that led into, well, we're doubling up because enrollment was down a little bit. Would you also be an academic advisor for students? So then I became academic advisor for art and design, healthcare management, and students with disabilities. Next thing I knew, in addition to the graduates and students that were looking for internships, etc., I was now dealing with between 250 and 400 students. And that was fine. It made me feel kind of popular. You know, I'd be walking down the hall, the students would say, hey Mike, yes, I'll bring my schedule in to you next week. And I said, no, you need it in today. And I really became an intrusive advisor. I got to know all of my students. I'd see their face, and I knew their name. Many of them I knew all of their family members, you know, who was doing what, which one was on vacation, you know, which sister was traumatized because, you know, her boyfriend jilted her the week before prom. I had all of that happening. But one of the things that I took, and the approach that I took on advising, was to be action-oriented. You know, how do I get those students involved to seek help when they need it, and to know when they need it? I also was a very intrusive advisor. I would go to where the students were. If I needed them to sign their schedules, and it was the first 2 days or even the first week of classes, I would have facilities set up a 6-foot table in front of the wing where they had the majority of their classes, and I'd have that table and chair, my cup of coffee, and all of their schedules. So if they wanted to get into their classes, they had to stop and see me first, sign their schedule, I'd give them a copy, and then they could go on to class. If I had missed anyone the following weeks, because I had a copy of their schedules, and it was a little easier because all of my students were in cohorts. So I would show up at 5 minutes before class and stand in front of the door and say, do you want to sign your schedule for me, please? Or if I missed them at the beginning of class, I was there at the end of class. If I missed them at classes, I would go to the student lounges and on the, all of the different floors, the different buildings, and say, oh, by the way, and open up my folder and say, I need you to sign this, or, you're not doing so well in, Miss Edingburg's geometry class. What are we going to do to get those grades up? So I was reaching out to all of my advisees. Some of the ways that I did that was I hosted and posted office hours. Now, because I was such a proactive advisor, they didn't really worry about coming to my office or making an appointment in my office, because they knew they were going to see me somewhere in the halls or somewhere on campus. Because as I said, I met them before or after their class, in the student lounges. I also had virtual office hours, and they would log in depending on the technology that we were using. Many times I'd have 6, 10, 15 students at the same time, and they were all asking the same question. How do I drop this class? Oh, I forgot to check on my financial aid. So, I got them to collaborate. If one student said, oh, there's this great internship opportunity, I had them talk about that during the sessions. I also did advising sessions. I worked it out with the faculty that at least once each semester, I asked for 30 minutes of their class time where I could come in and talk to them about, okay, guess what? In May of this year, you get to graduate if you fill out all of these forms. So, working not only with the students, but with faculty as well. And we used the usual scheduling and retention software. Banner was the one that I probably know the best. I lived in Banner, and I think all advisors really do. And we're going to talk today about all of the different types of technologies that can be used. And these are all technologies that I've used over the many, many years that have created this wonderful gray hair. Of course, Banner Notes, probably the biggest one that I used. This is Collaborate, Skype, Facebook, YouTube, Blogger, Google Docs, LinkedIn, Twitter, Dropbox, email, Google Talk or Chat, and who knows what the last one is? James.
That wouldn't be Big Blue Button, would it?
Yes, it would. Big Blue Button is very similar to Collaborate. It allows you to hold a virtual session. There are a couple of options in Big Blue Button. If you want to archive or record and archive your sessions, costs the university a little bit of money. But if you just want to use a free tool to say to your students, oh, by the way, if you want to chat, I'll be on Big Blue Button at 10:45 this morning. They can log in, and you're there, and you don't have to worry about archiving or saving it. So I am going to give you handouts with all of the resources in it, and because as I said initially, I said to Dr. Watson, Miss Edingburg and I would be happy to do a session. Miss Edingburg is going to come up now and talk about the technologies that she uses. And if you want to learn how to use any of these others, Miss Edingburg will also do some follow-up sessions on how to use those technologies.
Okay, thank you guys for coming out. It's really bad out there. A couple of things I want to piggyback off of Mike on is that fourth T that he spoke of regarding the President 4 T's touch. That's where we come in, because we're one of the departments, along with registration and financial aid, that the student has to see every single term. So when they come to us, building that rapport, getting to know that student, you know those students that their word is bond, they're gonna do what they said they're gonna do, and then you know those students they're talking to get out of your office after they got the pen. So, that's very, very important and intrusive for proactive advising, as well as they get to know you and know that you're not playing as well. When you need the documents or you have something from them to do, they need to get it done. I'm going to take the opportunity today and talk about the technology piece. I am so excited because we have some good things coming up, and it's the first time in CSU history, and we're a part of it. So there's many ways that we can interact and work proactively with students. I just want to share a little fun facts with you before I get started. 50% of the world's population is under 30 years old. Kindergartners are now using iPads to learn. If Facebook was a country, it'll be the 3rd largest in the world. So that's telling us we have to meet them where they're at. The old way of doing things are becoming obsolete. I hear time and time again, that student email doesn't work, or it bounced back. One of the things we could do proactively is when they come to get that PIN number from us every single term, there's no way around it, maybe we can verify telephone number and email address to keep things current. When I pay my bill and I have to talk to a representative, the first thing she's going to do is ask me, is your telephone number and, email address the same? So those are some of the things that we can check when they pass our way. For the purpose of this discussion, as Mike said, one of the tools we have available to us is Web 2.0. We have to meet them where they're at. There's a lot of wonderful software, advising software out there. You guys heard of Grade First, and you've heard of Starfish. Well, we have Grade First here, and we have a pilot of Starfish. I don't know if it's up and running. But unfortunately, the rest of us don't have those. So we have to make do with the resources that's available to us. The email and telephone, guys, that's kind of the old way of doing things. We can do a YouTube video. We can put it out there. And I'm not going to go through this again because Mike kind of touched on it, unless you want to. But Facebook is real popular, Twitter, and some of the other tools, resources available up here. Google Docs. I'm just going to take a quick second because you have this available on your computer. You can create surveys. You can create listings. It has a lot of different functionalities on there. So we did a workshop on Google Docs, I think, last year. And we may do it again because there's so many functions included in Google Docs. I use it quite often. I use it to create ping documents. I use it to send out blasts. I've created surveys, and you may want to do a survey. You can create all of that in Google Docs. So this is Web 2.0. So just looking at the menu, the icons, right off the bat, Facebook, and let me just take a quick second. A lot of students under the age of 30 go on Facebook religiously. They will go on Facebook before they check their email. There's got to be one unit in the university that has access to Facebook or authority to use Facebook. We may try to connect with them and partner with them to see if we can, you know, get advising issues out there on Facebook. Because one of the things I'm sure you guys do all the time is repeat yourself. And one of the very important things about intrusive advising, it boils down to information. So you don't have to keep repeating yourself. If you could put it out there, students have a central point to go to, then you're going to alleviate yourself of a lot of telephone calls, visits, and so forth, because the information is out there before they even ask for it, you know. They just have to know where to go. Moodle. You guys are, you know, I know both you guys know that we use Moodle as our course management system here. What you probably did not know about Moodle, we could use it as a blog. We could use it as a listserv. We could post announcements, latest news, upcoming events, resources, and you can even use it as a discussion board. You could set maybe 1 or 2 hours aside, maybe a week, just to answer the discussion board. Or you could put a notice up there letting them know. Now what happens with a discussion board in Moodle, if they post something, you'll get a notification stating that something was posted. And that would be your mechanism to go in and check. But I want to show you a few things.
I just wanted to add how effective those announcements are in Moodle. At the beginning of the semester, I was asked to post in Moodle an announcement regarding the merit scholarships and the deadlines for financial aid. Within the first day of sending it out there, because not only did I choose to post it, but I chose the option to email it to everyone in there. That first day I had 27 responses from students.
And I'm going to show you what it looks like when if you create what I like to call a blog.
So question, with the list, that was part of the listserv in which you sent that?
No, it was actually under announcements on the home page in Moodle.
So how do you decipher like who to send it to? Like if I want to put it on for students in the College of Health Science or pre-occupational therapy students, can I target those students through Moodle?
Absolutely, and I'm going to talk about that in about 2 seconds. So some of the benefits before because I'm actually going to show you what it looks like. And I want you to think in terms of using this as a blog. And you can create different groups, okay? And they do have a filter mechanism in there as well. So if you want to target a certain group, you'll be able to do that, no problem. Some of the great benefits of Moodle is that it's flexible. You could use text, you can post data, you can do PDF files, you can even put a video up there. You can actually make your own podcast from, you know, your program, and you can actually put it in there. So you don't have to repeat yourself over and over. It would be awesome to create a video for registration, walking through the registration process. You know, that would be something that would alleviate you repeating yourself over and over again. You can also customize it just for your program. And I'm going to show you how, you know, how it would look if you did. You get to control the information. So if you have an announcement or an upcoming event, you can actually go in there and make those changes yourself so you're not dependent. Once you get that shell, it's all about control. You have that control, you know. Again, as Ms. Payne mentioned, you could separate into categories. You could group the students off, you know. Say your program maybe have an A-B track or sub-programs under there. You can separate that information. Okay. You can update it as often as possible. If you find out something today, you can put it up tomorrow, and you don't have to go through a long line in order to get that information out. Because proactive advising is really based on one thing at the end of the day: information. If I could get that information out there to you, I'm going to be able to resolve problems before they actually become problems. And the students will receive notification that you posted something or you updated an announcement or you updated some information. Okay. And this is how you could set it up. This is just something I took off, but this particular case is a project management course. But look how that's specific. And look over here. You see where it says latest news, announcements? You know, that you can change as often as you feel. It's over in that area. Right here, the participants, that's where you can go in and you can create your groups. You know, and you can pull from the groups. And here's your administration functions. And as you go down, there's other opportunities for you. But this you can use as a block. Instead of saying special topic project management, you could say OT. You could say criminal justice. And you can actually go in and post and share information with the students specific to your program. And that's what makes Moodle so special. We are one of the few colleges that's not taking advantage of this function. I first heard about using Moodle as a blog at a conference. And, you know, it worked very well for them. I like it simply because it gives you the controls that you need to change that information and get that information out. Because, again, at the end of the day, proactive advising is basically information, getting it out. So you don't have to come and ask me what day is graduation. I sent you to a particular place. One of the differences between this and the website is the website is going to have a multitude of programs and information. It may or may not be specific to your program. This is going to be specific to your program. You're going to be the creator of it. So these are resources that we currently have that we don't make use of. Yes?
Before we move forward, how would we go about creating a Moodle campus?
Well, first of all, I think if we decide to move in this direction, we would have to clear it with Mike. And I don't know if he would need approval, but if it's something you're interested in, we most certainly can look into getting you a shell. And I'll be more than happy to work with you to set it up. sound interesting to you? I know Miss Payne is gonna love it because she likes taking control, you know, and she's very active with her students. And again, it's resources we have. I can give you a list of academic advising programs that's not available to us. And I don't even know if, you know, they will be available to us within the next year. These are immediate solutions. These are things that we can do right now. We have grade first. Have you guys heard of Advisor Track? That's another academic advising specific software. I know you heard of Orion. That's also being used as an academic advising tool. And Mr. Hud, he used Orion and I did too, and some of the benefits of that was database. Oh my goodness, if we could convert some of this data to a database format, it would alleviate a lot of your frustrations, but that's a project we'll look forward to getting together. Now, why I'm so excited is because we are getting access to banner notes. This is so important, and let me tell you why. It's so relevant to proactive advising because now you guys will be able to talk across campus. Not only will you be able to talk across campus, you will be able to see the notes that the registrars department put in and financial aid. So it's going to provide you with more information. So when you talk to that student, you can work proactively because now you have more data. The banner form is SPACMNT. So you're going to use it just like you would any other form. You go in and you put in that form number, hit enter, and it's going to take you to this. Now, another reason I'm so excited about the banner notes is not only will we have them in banner notes, we're going to also have them in CSU Express. So, you know, under the advisors menu, it's going to be another tab that says advisors notes. So, look forward to that one. Now, I'm just going to go through the banner screen real quick, the banner note screen real quick. And I am going to do a training on this. So, of course, you enter in the student's ID number. All of this information is going to default over automatically. The comment type, you're probably going to look for academic advising. The originator, academic advising. And then the contact, it's going to be a drop down. The date, the contact date is for you. That's going to be the date that you saw that student. The appointments, we're going to get to that later. Wouldn't that be awesome if we can get that appointment scheduled through Banner? And the time from and the time to, you won't have to worry about. The dates on the far right, those are going to default automatically. And if you look on the last updated, your name will show up in that field. Okay. And then you're ready to go. The first comment box can hold 4,000 characters. So, what contact?
Question. For, I see the confidentiality check up there. If there's a student whose information is confidential, will we still be able to see their information in the banner?
Yes, yes. That's, I'm not 100% sure that confidentiality box is going to be available to us when they do the final screen. The screen we're looking at now is still in the pilot form. We're going to confirm that probably within the next week.
Okay.
But you still will be able to see your notes and other people's notes. one of the things I'm concerned about with the banner notes, and we're working that out, is deleting. You know, if you put a note in there, you don't want anybody to be able to go behind you or change or modify. And you definitely don't want anybody to go behind you and delete what you put in there. So one of the differences between the banner notes and banner and the one in CSU Express is the one in CSU Express has a delete key as a second check method. In banner, we don't have that just yet. So that's one of the kinks we're working out right now. And the narrative comments, you know what a narrative is. It's a scenario of what happened. I'm going to hold a training class on what we should enter into these boxes. We have to be very mindful. We're still dealing with FERPA. We still have to have confidentiality regarding the student's personal information. And then we always have to be professional, you know. So if that student ticked you off and you in banner put, or CSU Express put in your notes, is that something you should put in there? Of course not. You're gonna keep it professional. And again, we're gonna hold trainings on that. So look forward to that. And I'm assuming that we will finalize this maybe within the next 2 weeks. And really excited about this. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
the box and have 4,000 characters as well.
Yes. And for academic advisors, it's new. We've been asking for this for about 2 years and we have it, you know, so it's really exciting. We had other departments that's been using it and they love it. Because anytime it can provide you with additional information, it's going to be beneficial. And it's definitely